Byers got some questions for him as a personal trainer. Want to know a little bit more about you and your life.
Awesome,
So,
bro.
how does being a personal trainer impact your personal life as a husband and a father? Because you are a husband and a father here, how do they go together?
Awesome. Well, I would say probably personal training has given me that ability to hang out with family a little more. Being a trainer, you can sort of set your own schedule, things like that. So being able to, be like, hey, I'm going to take this day and be with family. Tomorrow I have a couple sessions here, and being able to coordinate that. Um, a couple of things with the gym I work at. Um, they allow me to bring Bella, my daughter, with me a lot, things like that, so she can go and see what I do, which is cool also because then I get to see, hey, you know um, she gets to see what I do, and that's one thing that's a big deal as well. It also has given me the ability to balance life as far as her family, my wife's family as
Mm.
well. Um, because on days that I have sessions, like a Saturday, if I have sessions planned, a lot of my clients are super cool. If I have family stuff, they're like, hey, we can reschedule, or I can reschedule with them. So
Okay.
that's how that goes down.
Okay, so now your journey, a little bit, an insight, you know, how did you get to where you are as a personal trainer? Like, were you always into fitness? Like, were you a personal trainer right away? Like, kind of walk us through your path to being where you're at.
All right, great question. First of all, when I was in middle school, I was about, I would say, 200 pounds. Definitely nowhere where I am now. High school, was a little more difficult as well. So I gained some weight as well, gained about 40 pounds there. So I was
Wow.
240 in high school, coming out of high school. And I was like, I need to like, do something with this. I can't, be overweight, all my life. And I realized that early, coming out of high school. So I first started with home workouts, things like that. I felt confident, being able to do that at home. Yeah, it was difficult at first. It took a lot of willpower, but then also with that, a little more inconsistency because I didn't have anyone to keep me accountable.
Okay.
Me and my sister would work out, but I was like, hey, I don't feel like it today. I'm home or whatever. So that's where the inconsistency came in.
So it's important for you. I don't want to cut you
No,
off
you're
there,
good.
but
Yeah,
so like an accountability partner to have you going with that to stay
definitely,
more consistent.
definitely.
Okay.
Which is actually a great question because I didn't lose a lot of weight at home, but it built up my confidence. So I stepped in the gym and started working out by myself, which was inconsistent as well because I had to drive there, 30 minutes or so. But then one day I was working out at the gym and I met some people and they were like, hey, we have this other guy, an older guy who is really good with, who loves to work out. You love to work out. Why don't you meet him? So I was like, okay, cool. So I met my workout partner. His name is Rich Schaefer. Um, and that's where the consistency started. Because, going back to what you asked me about having a workout partner, he was like, hey, I'm going to be there these days. And I could be like, I don't feel like it really because it wasn't family anymore. It
Gotcha.
was more someone who was outside of that.
Okay.
So started working out with him. 5 days a week became consistent for me, things like that. And so that's where it started to change. I lost about, I would say, 40 pounds there. So I was around 200 pounds.
Wow.
Um,
Good for you, man.
and kept going with it, kept bringing it down, and eventually now with consistency, um, we're right around 155, but that
Wait,
was
wait, wait. So say that again. So you went from what number to what number?
I went from 240 to 155.
Man, that's
It
crazy.
was a gradual thing,
That's
so
crazy.
um,
Mad
you know
respect.
thanks, bro. It was working out was a big thing, but also diet as well.
Okay, and then so that actually leads into another question. So working out, personal training, you know working out is the important piece, right?
Yeah.
But the food does play a factor. Like some people, they might think if I work out, I can just eat tasty cakes all day. What are your thoughts on that?
All right, good question. Because that's what I thought when I first started. I was like, working out, I'm burning calories, I can eat what I want. Um, but I've learned for me, I hear the 80-20 rule a lot. 80% nutrition, 20% working out.
Okay.
For me, it's a 90-10.
Okay.
Um, simply because like it doesn't mean I can't ever have anything, But one of the big things is eating the right things. Like, and it's funny because I made a post on Instagram last night where I was talking about, training and diet together is where it unlocks that key.
Okay.
Um, because if you have, your calories, you burn more calories in a day than you eat, you're going to drop into that deficit.
Okay.
Proteins, fats, carbs, all that comes together. But diet is a huge thing, and eating the right things and food timing and all that. So that's what I've started to learn. A little bit of how that goes together in food, timing my meals out, things like that.
So what changed from then to now as far as your eating? Like, how did that? It obviously looks different. So
Right.
I'm not gonna say does it look different. Yeah.
Yeah.
How does it look different?
Okay.
I mean, you look great. Like you had
Thanks,
to
bro.
have made a change that's working.
Yeah. And a lot of people don't know this. If you've been following me on Instagram a little bit, I've been talking to you a little bit too as well about, my bodybuilding journey. First show is in July. So that's interesting. That's an interesting thought. But my coach, who has been awesome, he started to show me, my meal timing, why we eat certain things. And, one thing I'd love for people to learn is you can eat those things you enjoy, but it's in moderation. And that's where the big thing flipped. And not everybody's into bodybuilding or anything like that. And I don't expect everyone to be into that or anything like that. But for me, that's where that change has happened. Being able to, find, a certain amount of protein, a certain amount of carbs and fats. That's what switched it like a lot. Because since January 10th to now, which is, what is the day? March 18, 19?
It's the 17th.
Something like that. 17th.
Yeah.
I went from 172 to 155.
Wow.
Or 158. It was 155. This morning was 155. And it was that, learning how to mealtime and all those things. So
Okay.
that's one big deal for me. So that's what switched it.
So personal training, we're gonna like transition to like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
bodybuilding, because the thing here, like with Bob, right? So Bob's a personal trainer. He's
Correct.
also bodybuilding. He has that show he just mentioned coming up. So how does it make it easier or more difficult, the knowledge you have as a personal trainer with bodybuilding? Like, were you able to build off of what you knew, or did you have to change up what you were doing before you got into the bodybuilding part?
It was a lot of building, really, because like one thing I've been working with people on is like muscle connection, mind muscle connection, and I knew about that as a trainer, but learning to manage my weight, because like a lot of people just move weight. They're like, oh, I can bench 350 pounds, but they just move weight. Versus if they bring it down to 315 and focus on that contraction of the chest and all that, that will change the results they get. And so that's why I say it build on it, because I knew these things, but it's being able to like take that ego lifting out of it somewhat and bring it down to a weight that's manageable, and then feel that contraction.
Swallow that pride to get more out of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And with bodybuilding, it's all about connection and contraction of the muscle, to build that muscle and fill it with blood and all that.
Okay.
So I've learned that. My coach has been really awesome, being like, okay, so he has me video a lot of my workouts. And so he's like, slow it down, slow your movement down. He's like, feel the contraction, use lighter weight. And so I knew about that, but being able to put those things together has really expanded my ability to
Okay.
grow and to be stronger.
So, as far as bodybuilding, then, what does it look like for you with gyms? Because you work out at different gyms, your personal trainer did different ones. Because, like, for me, going to Planet Fitness, sometimes you hear people say, that's not a real gym. But I know a lot of fit guys and girls, men and women, working out at Planet Fitness, and they're fit. What's your intake on what makes a gym? What can you use where you're at?
Okay, that's actually a great question, because I view Planet as a real gym.
Okay.
A lot of people say it's not a real gym because it's no judgment zone and the weights only go up to a certain like amount. Versus like if you go to a powerlifting gym or something, that's a real gym.
Okay.
But it's not. I say Planet is a real gym because of the fact that wherever you are, you can get a good workout. And that's the point of a gym, like to get a workout in and to be able to, become better. So I say like Planet is a real gym, in the fact that the culture is good. Met a lot of people there. The one gym that I work at called 360 Unique Fitness that's a lot of classes, so it's a different feel. They have personal training there as well,
Okay.
but the weights don't go up near as much as they do at Planet. But that's still a real gym.
Okay.
It's all in what you're looking for. Because if you're looking for a powerlifting gym, you're not going to hit Planet up. But if you're looking for, more a gym where you can do bodybuilding in a way, or you can do, lift some weight, Planet is a gym.
Okay.
I started working at Crunch, or I'm about to start working there. I'm hired by them.
Oh, congratulations.
So thanks, bro. That's another big step in life as well. But working for Crunch, like people would consider them a real gym, but they
Okay.
have elements of Planet and they have elements of
So
360, and
what's the dividing factor that people would say Crunch is a real gym, Planet maybe isn't?
it is. I feel like it's the free bars.
Ah,
I feel like
okay.
it's the weight that they have there, the way that you can push. I feel like the equipment. There's more equipment there. Things like that. There's classes there, things like that. So it's not the fact that it's not like Planet isn't a real gym. I think people just look at the big box gyms where
Mm,
you have, 10 free bars, and you have, all the, and, you have massive guys that work out there, things like that. But people forget the fact that a gym can be anything as long as you are putting in that work.
okay. So when you're putting in that work, Bob, you're a personal trainer, husband, father, right? You're getting into bodybuilding. And I do know Bob personally here, so he is a man of God. So how does this life mesh with your faith in Christ? Like, how do they go together?
Legit. Good question. I'm going to pause this. Cut.